Hello, good evening. Audio visual
Good
clear?
evening, sir.
Audio visual clear? Boards are
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay. So today's class is core paper of microbiology, which is same in all university in semester one. That is introduction of microbiology. First of all, we go through the syllabus and the book, reference book suggestion. Then we move towards the topic, first topic. The introduction of microbiology has two units, unit 1 and unit 2. Unit 1 is about the history of microbiology, and unit 2 has subpart. It is the diversity of microbiology or microbial world. Diversity of microbial world. Unit 2 has subpart. Four subpart. Bacteria, algae, protozoa, and fungi. Here in the bacteria, there is other two division, archaebacteria, archaebacteria and eubacteria. So unit 2, we go to the details, bacteria and about the archaea and eubacteria and separately. Then we go to the algae and fungi and protozoa. That is all about the syllabus. Calcutta University and other universities, same syllabus. Introduction of Microbiology core paper. From this paper, 75 marks questions have been asked in final paper. Total question paper, question marks 75 theory and 25 will be practical. Theory paper 75 and practical paper 25. In recent year paper, previous year paper, if you analyze the question paper in Calcutta University, in theory portion, there is a 2 marks question, also 3 marks and 5 marks. The highest question marks is 5 and started from 2 marks. 2 into 10, 3 into 10 and 5 into 5. 75. That is the question pattern. Setup 2 marks question, 3 marks question and 5 marks question. Above 5 is relatively rare in Calcutta University, but other university can give an above 5, 7, 8, 10, etc. But in CU, 5 marks is highest. There will be a internal choice also. Out of 15, you have to be answered 10. Here also 50 out of 15 answered 10. And out of 8, 5 marks question answered only 5. So question paper contain or enough or. That's all about syllabus and question pattern. Any question from that? Next, go to the book suggestion. Next, we move forward to the book suggestion for this paper.
No queries, sir.
Okay, book suggestion from the core paper. I've been suggested two books in always and two foreign author book. Suggested book for this paper. Prescott Microbiology. Microbiology by Prescott. Prescott is the author name. Seventh and recent edition is 14. Any edition you can purchase from 7 to 14. I prefer 11th edition. It is better written. You can purchase anything. Updated version always our preference list. Updated version is 14, but it is too much cost now. So 11, 12 or 13, it is better. But college prefer always 7th edition. You can also purchase that 7th. But I prefer personally prefer 11. Yes. Prescott Microbiology or Brock Biology of Microorganisms. Brock Biology of Microorganisms. The editions would you prefer? 14 editions. There are two options. You can purchase book as hard copy. For purchasing book, you can opt online, Amazon, Flipkart available, or offline College Street. Locally, these books are not available. College Street you can get, or soft copy. You can printed version that is also available. Printed version available in Shialda. Printed version available. College Street also you can get printed version, soft copy, in less price. As well as Baligon Science College, CU. Baligon Science College, Calcutta University. পারচেজ করেছো বল লিখে নিয়ে So started our topic, first topic inside Unit 1, History of Microbiology. The topic name Spontaneous Generation. Spontaneous generation and disprove spontaneous generation theory. That is our first topic in the core paper. First thing first, you have to be understand what is spontaneous generation. Can you tell me what is spontaneous generation? What is the meaning of spontaneous? What is the meaning of spontaneous? Anyone from online, offline?
Continuous.
Continuous? No. আর what? ওকে আর একটু মানে তুমি যদি ইংলিশে টার্মিনোলজি করতে চাও, এটা তো বাংলা পারফেক্ট বাংলা, মানে স্পন্টেনিয়াস এ বেঙ্গলি হচ্ছে স্বতঃস্ফূর্ত, কারেক্ট। বাট অ্যাকচুয়ালি যদি ইংলিশের টার্মটাকে এক্সপ্লেন করতে চাও, কনস্ট্যান্টলি নো। এনিওয়ান? Incident that occurred accidentally. That means accidentally happened something. It is called spontaneous. I written over the spontaneous generation. What does it mean? That means generation of something accidentally. Generation of something means the generation of living things. So actual meaning is that spontaneous generation means generation of living things from non-living matter. From non-living matter. That is the concept of spontaneous generation. So ancient people believed this theory. This theory believed by ancient people. They actually saw that maggots are generated from crop, mice are generated from mud, etc. That means crop, mud, they are all are non-living things. Crop generate maggots, are living things. Mud generate mice, are living things. Is it possible? Now it seems very crazy, right? But that time, no microscope is there, no involvement of other instrument. So they believe that the non-living things actually generated living beings. And that concept is called spontaneous generation theory or abiogenesis theory or abiogenesis theory. In contrast, there are also another theory called biogenesis theory. Another theory against the spontaneous generation at that time, biogenesis. Biogenesis theory or non-spontaneous generation theory. So two theories are available at that time. Majority people believe that spontaneous generation theory. The concept is that non-living things generate living things. Majority people, and some people, some philosophers believe the biogenesis theory. What does it mean? It means completely opposite. Living things always generate from living things. That means a living things must be generated from pre-existing life. So theory of biogenesis states that living things always generated from pre-existing life. So mice only be generated if parental mice are there. Hi, yes or no? Maggots only be generated if other flies are there, parental flies are there. So that is the concept of biogenesis theory. So at that time, two theories are available. So which one is much more correct? What will you say? Huh? Biogenesis theory. But majority people believe spontaneous generation theory at that time. So the concept is the heading is disprove the spontaneous generation theory. So we need to first disprove the spontaneous generation theory that is actually wrong, but majority people believes at that time it is correct. So various scientists are came and their contributions we are noted after that. It is clear the two concepts are clear. Spontaneous biogenesis theory clear. Just two concepts online. Online.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next we need to disprove the spontaneous generation theory, the crazy theory that non-living things are generated from living things. It looks crazy now, but at that time it is the greater idea at ancient time. হ্যাঁ বাট ওটাকে তো প্রুফ ডিসপ্রুভ তো করতেই হবে তো কারেক্ট ওয়ান দ্য বায়োজেনেসিস বাট উই নিড টু ডিসপ্রুভ ফার্স্ট সো ডিসপ্রুভিং spontaneous generation theory. The first scientist that came to disprove this matter, Francisco Redi. Scientist name Francisco Redi. In the year of 1688, 68, 1668. That 16th century later half, 16th century, Francisco Redi first want to disprove this spontaneous generation theory. He did two experiments, simple experiment, very simple. To disproving the matter. Experiment number one, he take two glass jar and fill the glass jar with meat portion. A small portion of meat taken this inside this jar. This is meat, a piece of meat. It is jar number 1 and jar number 2. The first jar remain open as it is, but second jar is totally closed with a cork. The open mouth is has been closed by the using cork and left untouched for 2 to 3 days. Incubate for 2 to 3 days. What your expectation? Where the mangoes will become? Jar number 1 or jar number 2? Your expectation.
Jar
Jar
number
number 1.
2.
Jar
Jar
1.
number 2. Jar number 2. No maggots and Redi get same observation what we expected. Now observation of this experiment. Jar number 1 contain maggots, whereas jar 2 absent of maggots. And he state for this observation that in case of jar number 1, flies are easily in and out, but jar number 2 cannot enter. That's why no eggs can lay and no maggots are there. So he stated that from this observation, in jar 1, flies continue to move because it remains open. Mouth is remain open. So flies continue to move and lay egg. From that eggs, maggots are appeared. But in case of jar 2, he stated that no flies can enter. So maggots are absent after 2 to 3 days. Francesco Redi experiment. Simple experiment. To oppose this spontaneous generation theory. But it is the ultimate proof. No. Because when you disproving something, the idea, some critics are there also, always, and opposes this experimental result. Always critics are appeared, and your experiment always opposes. So Francisco Redi's critics are also appeared after this experimental result, and they said that after this experiment, critics are appeared. They said that in jar 2, you close with a cord, so no air can pass into the jar. So air is a vital force for every life. The critics said that air is the vital force for every life to appear, every life to come. Air is the vital force. But in case of jar number two, in case of jar number one, it is clear air can be in or out. But jar number two, no air can enter. So critics are appeared and questioned this experiment. And they said that air is absent, which is the vital force for any life appearing. So air is absent in jar 2. That's why no maggots are produced. Air is absent in jar 2. That is why no maggots produced. You cannot deny that it is true. Air is needed. So ready, go for the second experiment to answer this critics question. Experiment number 2. Now he modified the jar number 2. Experiment number 2. Simple modification. Jar number 2, modified. He removed the core and modified with a net. Now mouth is closed with net. And another flask jar with core. Same things. A piece of meat is taken. In second experiment, what will be your expectation? Our expectation. Where the maggots will come? Jar 1 or jar 2?
Sir, it will not come.
Come in jar 1 or jar 2? Jar 1? Ashbet, maggots? No. So no
No, sir.
maggots appeared in both jars. Observation. But when you remove the core, it will come. After the removing the core, maggots appear in jar 2. So what we can say from this experiment? Why critics are opposes first experiment? Experiment number 1 of Redi's. They question about the vital force. That is air. Air is continuously in and out. It is a net, not core, not solid material. Net-like structure. So here air can pass easily. So from this experiment we can disprove this spontaneous generation theory, yes or no? Yes. From the experiment number 2, we can disprove spontaneous generation theory. But somehow have to be opposed Redi's experiment. Why? Because you change the idea. You want to change the idea, and everybody wants to opposes your experiment. So first the group of critics said about the vital force absent. Now second critics are appeared. Second group of critics are appeared after experiment number B. Critic statement after B. They said that they question that it is okay for spontaneous generation disproving for large organisms. That means maggots. What about small organisms? Small organisms can appear spontaneously easily because small organisms are actually unicellular and majority are unicellular and very simple in structure. So second group of critics question about the microorganisms. Microorganisms spontaneous generation. Microorganism spontaneous generation. After Redi's experiment number 2, they said that it is okay for large organism like maggot. That spontaneous generation biogenesis theory is accepted. But for microbes, it can easily grow spontaneously. Microbes can grow spontaneously. That is the thing. Microorganisms spontaneous generation theory. They questions about after Redi's second experiment. This was not solved by the Redi. This is solved by another group of scientists. This question is answered by second set scientists, second and third. So Francesco Redi disproved the spontaneous generation theory for prokaryote or eukaryote, for large organism or small organism, for large organism, for eukaryote. Statement should be cleared because he cannot show the spontaneous generation disproving from microbes level. So second scientist came and tested this material, they tested this hypothesis. Before second scientist came, another philosopher, which is who is a Catholic priest also, give a statement whose name is John Needham. He is Catholic priest, so he is powerful in her voice, in his voice. Okay, his words are very powerful at that time. So John Needham actually adding fuel to the fire. That means he supported the spontaneous generation theory. He support spontaneous generation theory, John Needham, by doing a simple experiment. Spontaneous generation theory. অপোজ করেনি, সাপোর্ট করেছে। দ্যাট মিনস যে কন্ট্রোভার্সিটা চলছে সেটাকে আরো ফিউল অ্যাড করবে। জন নিডার, and he did a simple experiment to support this statement. It a nutrient medium, chicken broth or corn broth. Then he heated the material, medium or broth, continuously at 100 degrees centigrade for 2 to 5 minutes. After that, he cooled the mixture and opened into the air. Check the experimental procedure. He take a broth, a flask of broth, the broth contains chicken or corn. Heating this broth at 100 degrees centigrade for 2 to 5 minutes. This heating step can eliminate all the microbes present inside the broth. Okay, he actually showed that things. First, he heat the material and clear all the microbes. Then he rested for cooled and rested for openly. 1 to 2 days. What will be the observation? Microbes appear or not further inside the flask? Microbes appear করবে of online.
Yes, sir.
He remain open, na? No. Heating done, cool and rested for 1 or 2 days. Appear করবে. So microbes appeared here and made the broth turbid. So from this experiment, he want to show that non-living things, chicken broth are non-living things. First he is heated that means all things are eliminated. After that cooling 2 to 3 days, observation resting period, microbes appear. So he support or oppose the idea of spontaneous generation. He support the spontaneous generation theory that critics are questioned after Needham experiment 2, that microbes can appear spontaneously. He add the fuel into that. So observation and result, he clearly stated that Microbes can appear spontaneously from chicken broth. That means non-living matter. So microbes growth do not need any prior parental generation. Is it true? Is it true? Microbes do not need any parental generation. So microbes can appear spontaneous. He supported this statement. Clear? Needham experiment. This should be disproved also that microbes should not appear spontaneously. Microbes appearing need prior generation, pre-existing generation. So for that, scientist number 3 or philosopher number 3 came and did the experiment. Spallanzani, scientist number 3. Lazarro, Spallanzani. Year 1765. He completely opposed the Needham experiment. Opposed Needham experiment. He started the simple experiment to oppose that. Just change the things, modify the things, whichever Needham is created. He also taken same material, chicken or corn bought inside the flask and heated. After heating, cool down the material. Add cork in the flask. That
Sir,
means
cork was added before cooling or after cooling?
after cooling. After cooling. After cooling, he had put cork at the top of the mouth, opening space, and close the area, close the mouth. Rested for 2 to 3 days. What will be your expectation? What will be the observation? Can or can? Can't. Cannot. That means the broth will be clear or turbid. Turbid means
Clear.
growth of microbes. Clear means no growth. No symbol of growth means clear. So observation is no growth and broth is clear. Done. But critics are appeared. Critics are appeared. And same the same thing. Stated the same thing when it opposes in the Redi's experiment. That is concept about vital force. Here also same thing. Vital force is absent because he had the core. So critics statement same as Redi's experiment that AR is absent. AR is absent when the cork is added into the flask. AR is absent and AR is the vital force to any light to came. That's why the broth is clear here. So it is difficult now. How you can disprove this material, disprove this spontaneous generation in case of microbes? It is now very difficult. AR तो ढुकছেই. So last at the end come famous scientist Louis Pasteur. After 100 years, 1864 or 1864, 5, etc. The year is. So still contribution controversies on from 1765 microbes are spontaneously generated or not. So at the end, this issue is solved by scientist number 4, Louis Pasteur. See, Louis Pasteur has two challenges for disproving. Number one, the flask should not closed, hair should remain open, flask remain open, and air can pass. Remain open and air should be passed inside the air inside the flask. That is primary task. Otherwise, you close the flask. Critics are came and said about the vital force theory. তো কোনোভাবেই করা যাবে না, তোমাকে ফ্লাস্ক অফ করা যাবে না মাউথ। And second task, with open flask, disproving spontaneous generation for microbes. So two challenges Pasteur have. Many scientists have tried before Louis Pasteur but cannot achieve. Because challenges like is very tough. Air should remain open, flask cannot be closed. At that time, microbes should remain free. The broth remains free of microbes. So Pasteur did brilliant experiment to disprove this matter. And very intelligently he done that. He disproved this matter in 1864. That means 100 years after 100 years of Needham's experiment. Pasteur brilliantly disproving spontaneous generation for microbes. For that, he crafted a special flask. That flask is known as Swan neck flask. Swan neck flask. What is the unique about Swan neck flask? This flask has U shape, S shape, capital S, letter S, shape structure, mouth. Mouth of this flask looks like S. So he did experiment with that flask, experiment protocol procedure. He used the same broth, chicken or corn, vegetable broth. Pour the broth into long neck flask. After that, he heated the neck and bent to form S shape. Boil the solution and allow to cool. Observation. Check the diagram of this procedure. First, he take long necked flask, pour the solution, whatever he take the broth, chicken, corn, anyhow, anything. Pour the broth. After pouring, he bend the mouth of the broth into S shape. Now the flask looks like that. And this flask is called swan neck flask because it resembles the neck of swan. And convert Swan necked. Heated this material with the burner 5 to 10 minutes. After that, he cooled at room temperature and waited for 2 to 3 days. What happened after 2 to 3 days? Your expectation. Broth is clear or turbid after 2 to 3 days from this setup. Clear. Online. Clear or turbid? Observation.
Clear.
Clear. Why? Why it is clear? Mouth is remain open. No
The
cork
air
is there.
cannot reach the broth.
Air cannot reach. Air can reach. Why not air cannot reach? Air can reach, but actually microbes present in the air in the dust. Air থাকে কোথায়? Microbes present in the dust particle. Microbes present in dust particle. So when air is entered, air can reach to the broth easily, but the dust particle can reach to the broth. No, that the bent portion, the all dust particles are deposited. Yes or no? All dust particles are deposited. Actually, microbes are came from the dust of the air. So all microbes now here deposited. Microbes cannot reach, but air can reach. No question about that. Air can reach to the broth, but microbes cannot reach because dust particles are deposited at the bend. So not only 2 to 3 days, 1 month to 6 months, the broth remains clear easily. Do not need any prior treatment. Any treatment. The broth remains clear for 1 to 2 months easily. So two challenges Pasteur have before experiment started. One is air should pass and flask should be remain open. He did that. Flask is remain open. Air continuously pass, but microbes cannot pass. Does not allow to pass due to bend in the structure of the flask or the mouth. So that brilliant experiment of Pasteur make this success. And clearly, we can now tell that no one can question after this experiment. No one. আর ভয়েস রেস করার জায়গা আছে ক্লোজ করলেই প্রবলেম ছিল so result after this experiment we can easily state that not only the higher organism not only the larger organism single organism that means microbes also cannot form spontaneously. Microbes cannot form spontaneously. So controversy end after 100 years of Needham experiment, 1864 Pasteur experiment. So we now know that all organisms, including microbes, are generated biogenesis theory. So the hypothesis about the biogenesis is actually correct. Spontaneous generation disproved. After this experiment, the golden age of microbiology started. Various other experiments, and various source outcome, vaccine development, other experiment, etc. developed. So after this experiment, the golden age of microbiology started. So last topic today's class, golden age of microbiology. We consider golden age from the period 1857 to 1940 because the major events from this period has done. During this year, scientists have discovered the agents of many diseases. Scientists have discovered the role of immunity in our body, role of immunity and preventing the disease causing organism. From that, a separate field is started, role of immunity. The subject is immunology, and it is in the separate discipline that we discussed previous day, preventing disease causing organism in humans and animals, medical microbiology. Number three, scientists have discovered or studied chemical activities of microbes, improve techniques for studying microbes. That means developing of microscope, culturing of microscope, developing of microscope, culturing of microbes, develop vaccine and surgical technique. So various critical things are happened during this year, period of year 1857 to 1914. That is why this period is called golden age of microbes or microbiology subject. For this discovery, there are also some scientist contribution, and we looking to cover that one by one in next class. First, next class will be discover the agents of many diseases. There is also a controversy that we discuss in next class. Scientist contributions are also there in the discovery. Various scientists. And we next class we discuss about the discover the agents of diseases disease causing agent, and the theory is called germ theory of disease. Germ theory of disease. Like spontaneous generation theory and non-spontaneous generation theory, there is also a controversy. Germ theory of disease. That means disease can caused by microbes. It will be discussed in next class.